Takes a second.
Do they have hot springs?
There it is. I told you.
So, yeah, we've got a game here, boys and girls. EVOS first one of our first Bo3. Got 2 up today.
Oh, I better put on my open mic so they can hear me during the panel.
Excellent. Very good.
Oh,
All right, so first bans. Where's the Naga ban at?
dude,
Treant.
these EVOS guys, they keep banning Treant against them. These guys are Treant gamers.
I guess so. They
Gotta
must
give some
really like
credit to a
Treant.
team that lets you.
Dude,
yeah.
it's Whitemon. This guy plays tree every single game.
So sick. I'm gonna watch all his replays and be a tree master.
Oh yeah, good call. Oops, I accidentally
The old
paused it.
double whammy.
Yeah, I was like, what is that sound? Oh, that's Wind Ranger twice.
Yeah, the same thing happened yesterday. And I
Oh.
forgot to mute it.
Why?
I keep forgetting that I don't have music up on this one. So
Look at these bands, though, and just getting rid of the boggy type here. You know, the scary, the team fighters,
The
The
bog.
boggers.
the boggers.
All credit to Jack. I love that term. What a great term.
I'm a big fan of the bog.
So EVOS, they can ban Naga against Keen. I'm not sure. Or Dark Willow was picked twice by Keen. I don't think it's bad enough to ban it though, considering. I don't know. Do you ban Dark Willow after they played it yesterday?
Dude, they picked it twice in the first phase. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, they did.
Maybe.
ban
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I think that's fair. I mean, there's like Wind Ranger's already gone, which I would consider to be slightly more annoying in that sort of same position. And I think if you can force them into like a Crystal Maiden, which I'm guessing is what Keen will probably pick, then I'm okay with that.
Whoa, this hero. Where he's been gone forever. I feel like Where's the Oracle counter pick now? Don't you just pick Oracle?
The Oracle counter pick.
Dude, it happened all the time in EU. It literally happened.
The
Shadow Word, yeah.
healing.
It's
Yeah.
actually it was a serious counter in EU
Okay,
when they did
I mean
it.
that's cool.
Oh,
That's definitely
I
cute.
didn't see that.
I don't think we saw that once in China or C.
No.
So that
Yeah,
EU
I didn't
meta
see that in
really
SA.
ahead.
Dude, the EU was crazy weird with how they played, honestly. But it happened at least like anytime. Like it actually happened so much they stopped picking Warlock at the end of the tournament towards the playoffs, and they only picked Witch Doctor instead because of Voodoo instead of just.
I love this kind of opener for Keen, though. Great heroes that play well together in terms of vision. Great initiators. It gives you a lot of options to draft. Play a very aggressive mid.
It felt like that's how Keen lost their games, is they were always behind on initiation heroes yesterday. So maybe Keen just kind of thinking about that and trying to be able to start fights a little bit better. They didn't go for like the Skywrath Mage. I think they potentially could go back for it after. It'd be kind of weird to have a Clock Skywrath Mage support duo, but it's also pretty sick. I don't know. Depends on what the offlaner is for you.
I like having it against Warlock because if the Beastmaster just finds the Roar on Warlock, then the Warlock just dies before he can get any of his spells off, and then that feels really good that you don't have to deal with Golem in the fights.
Yeah, and hopefully Clockwork's the one, either between the Hawk or the Flare, you're going to spot Warlock and try and get a hook shot onto him, and then just battery assault him, or at least force a bad Golem.
Bloodseeker.
I think Bloodseeker was first phased a lot yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of bans. Like I feel like it was Bloodseeker, Undying, Wind Ranger that were kind of the 3 standards being banned out for most of the games.
How often did you guys see Bloodseeker in the qualifiers, the open qualifiers?
Not much in China, in the regionals.
Okay.
I don't remember.
In NASA, it was in like almost every game.
It was picked mostly by Wind and Rain, the American team for the EU squad. Like Ritsu and played it. Bryle played it a little bit. I think Frev maybe played it one game. Nobody else really picked it. It was really just the NA team. It seems like Brax. It's mostly an NA type thing for the most part.
Yeah, it was definitely around in China though. It felt like that pocket pick. It would occasionally get banned. We'd get like 4th or 5th pick. You know, you'd see those. Oh shit, they've got a Slark. Let's see the Bloodseeker give it to him. Definitely a handful of those games, but yeah, not huge priority. We saw a couple. Was it maybe just that one game that really scarred me, Trent? But we saw a passive Bloodseeker that was maybe the worst Bloodseeker performance we've ever seen.
I think that was aggressive from IG. I'm pretty sure.
I think
how the mighty have fallen since he did.
Wait, what happened?
They picked Bloodseeker, and I shit you not, he was like 3-0-1 or something, and he was top of the net worth, and they just never pushed, and they just lost. It was such a weird game.
All he did was farm, he bought fighting. He won like S&Y,
yeah. And he just farmed. It was a strange one. Yeah, that was. We don't talk about that game.
I mean, that game confirmed to me for sure that Bloodseeker is a fighting hero through and through. This is not the hero you want to pick if you want to farm jungle for 20 minutes. Yeah. You're not going to want to buy the Battle Fury on Bloodseeker.
Yeah. Brax, I actually want to ask you, because I remember you played a game, like, I think it was a month ago, you were playing a game on stream, and it was like the first time you had played Bloodseeker in forever, and you're just like, this hero is broken. And that was like a month and a half ago. How do you feel about Bloodseeker now, though, after a few changes and stuff?
This hero is broken. Completely broken.
All right.
He's like the best laner in the game, and he can play in all 3 lanes.
Yep.
And yeah, he does require like that fast fighting style. But if you have the right heroes with him, you can pretty much play every single team fight super fast, move speed and stuff. But yeah, I mean, he's just a good hero. But they do have some tools to deal with him. They have Clockwork is pretty good against Bloodseeker. Roar, of course, through BKB is always trouble to deal with.
Yeah. I like the fact that a lot of heroes, like if you think about like Magnus, for example, if you pick that hero early, there are certain synergies that almost always get banned out, like Troll Warlord or Faceless Void or something like that, and then you kind of get into like a shittier tier of partners for a Magnus. Bloodseeker, it's like you can pick this guy first phase, and you just can't ban out heroes that are good Bloodseekers. Zeus, I think, will be an exception in terms of like an amazing duo. Obviously, because like the combination of Thunder God's Wrath with how much speed it gives a Bloodseeker, and then the vision is provided, that's really nice. But like, you can get any spam hero, and it makes Bloodseeker incredible. You know, this guy goes to the mid lane, he's got 2 spammers on the side lanes, and he just dumpsters whoever's in his lane. And there's not really anything you can do during the draft to stop that.
It's true. That is one of the like really unique aspects of this hero, that he benefits from that just global damage like no other. But now they'll grab Enigma, another nice team fighter to go with the Warlock. Also an incredible laner. I'm assuming they've been running just off-lane Enigmas.
They played support yesterday. They played Tuku support for Enigma yesterday, where they had the Mirana with the Enigma, and the Enigma was the support in that lane in the off lane.
Okay.
Which was interesting. But Avil has played it a lot as the offlaner for EVOS. So it's not like they can't do it. I think it just depends on the draft and what they're playing against.
Dude, the C qualifiers for TI were insane.
Like, oh, they were so good, dude. So much
Enigma was in like every single game if it wasn't banned.
Yeah, and it was first phase too.
Yeah. Oh. Like, they just don't care what they play this hero into. This hero is so good.
That's like the opposite of what we saw in EU. The one time we saw Enigma got fucking dumpstered. So it's really weird. It's like just that big of a difference between the regions, but I guess it's not surprising.
I would be shocked if Enigma was not first phase of TI, right to start the tournament. And like, unless something happens, I think he is one of the best heroes right now. I think C has got this on lock. It's like the best thing that they've brought to the meta, I would say. He just seems incredibly strong.
What makes him so good, though, is the question. Like, for somebody that hasn't played or seen the SEA TI qualifiers,
it's like you put this hero as support, right? And then he comes to his lane and he takes one of the creeps with his conversion, and then he's got the Eidolons. And then if someone can just zone with a stupid right click and like keep people away from the Eidolons just like last hit and deny everything, and they have so much damage. And then you can also kind of tempo him, right? Where like TNC, both TNCs, I'm pretty sure, were doing like a Beastmaster plus Enigma. And so you get the Enigma early, and you could choose if you want to go really fast with like Beastmaster Aura and just like steamroll the game, or you can also just be like, look, I'm a position 4 Enigma, the game's slowing down, it's okay. I get my GPM talent, I get some items, I get a BKB, and suddenly I'm a core, essentially. Like, he is so frustrating to play against. And if you have too many counters to the black hole, like even through BKB, kind of like this game where there's Roar and Hookshot and even Chrono, he probably is just going to be a support. You know, you don't have to worry about it being some core.
You guys remember when Beastmaster was like first phase in every single game? Beastmaster was first phase now, but it's a bit less common. Right. It was like Beastmaster, like Skywrath, Mage lanes, all like every single game. Now it's like you take somebody already as obnoxious as Beastmaster, and then you also have Enigma. So the lane's always pulled back because you deny every single range creep. You have like 150 damage to sit there and deny every single creep in front of the enemy carry. It's like, this is how you get lanes where you hit level 6 when the enemy carry is like level 4.
Yeah.
Like, it's that bad.
Man, that's actually...
You're really selling me on this.
Yeah,
dude,
me
he's
too.
so fun to play, too.
I played a ton of Enigma early on. I've stopped playing him for a while. I might pick him up again if I ever...
Dude, he's got that wow factor, too. The black hole.
Black hole is so fun. It's actually just one of the most... It's the best ability when you hit it and nothing cancels it and you hit a big one, too. Feel like a god.
I'm a big fan of any game-winning ability that I can win the game with and simultaneously take my hands off the key.
Oh! Just throw your hands up in the air.
That feels good.
Oh. What do we got here? ET ban. They're just like, okay, that could be really annoying. That's a fair shout.
Ember Spirit going to be the final ban from EVOS. Definitely okay with that. Or a big mid laner here, and EVOS. I assume, is it a safe lane Bloodseeker? How do you think they're going to set this up?
They could just run the Bloodseeker with the Enigma if they wanted to. It kind of depends on how comfortable their offlaner might be with it.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely some options. Not a lot of time, though. Only 10 left.
Wouldn't hurt if they had a better way to do Roche.
Yeah, a little minus armor would definitely go a long way. And it'll be the Lion.
Okay.
So
it's a core Enigma then. And right into Razor. No hesitation.
Did that pop twice for you guys?
It did. It did. That was so weird.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
That was one of the weirdest things I've seen.
It was because he selected it instantly. I'm pretty sure is when it happens. But that was funny.
A pretty epic Razor select.
Yeah, it must be really good.
I like the idea of what EVOS is going for here. I think they've certainly got some great push. They've got some pretty solid laners, but really like this Razor last pick. I think Keen have the vision to make this game for Void very easy. You've got Zeus, Clockwork, and Beastmaster all to help set up these fights, get these perfect chronos, great heroes to fight around the chrono. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I'm with you. And what do you think, buddy?
I don't know. I kind of feel the same way. So I don't really like the Lion and the Warlock together, so I'm going to go for Keen. I feel like Faceless Void has kind of been owning this tournament. Like, I'm always worried about how well the first couple chronos are going to go, but every game it feels like the Voids are just completely on point with their rotations, and winning those like first 2 team fights just seems so important right now to the laning phase.
Are you guys stuck at finishing loading right now, or is that just me?
Yeah, we're stuck too.
You're in, Brax?
Yeah, I'm in right now.
Is the game starting?
Yeah, people are running to lane.
All right,
I'm at finishing loading too. I would just wait.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and reconnect there, and we'll... I guess that's true. It could always cast off the clean feed.
I mean, I'd rather not, but
I'd rather not as well. But you know, you guys could pretend to be Rock Lee and Arafine.
Well, this is I'm gonna put the clean feed on. Okay, never mind. We're in. We did it.
All right. Well, have fun now.
Thank you. Brax, how you feeling, buddy? How you feeling about this draft for both of these teams?
Dude, I'm a bit worried for EVOS's lanes. Like, this Bloodseeker's really resilient against harass, but Beastmaster, Clockwork, there's a lot of all-in potential there. I don't see that Warlock doesn't have much to do in this lane, really.
Yeah.
So it's a bit concerning. And dude, when Warlock doesn't have a good lane, he ends up like level 4, like 15 minutes with 600 net worth to his name. You know, struggling to afford wars or even finish his boots or anything like that.
The miserable life of a Warlock. That's not going to be an eggs for you, my friend. No eggs this game. And really, no early golem is pretty important. Like, if you're taking fights and you don't have golem for, like, the first 3 fights, you feel useless, right? Because what are you doing exactly? I have shadow worded you. Congratulations. That is the only thing you've done in this fight so far.
You don't sit there in a team fight and go, oh, no, the shadow ward is on me. You know, that's just not how it happens.
You're not worried about that, Brax, when you play Dota?
Definitely not.
All right.
That's probably, like, the last thing that crosses my mind.
I see.
But I think EVOS are set up to lose 2 lanes here. Razor against the DK, heavily Razor favored. Their off lane's going to go well with this Enigma Lion, but I don't think they're going to win out on this safe lane so hard unless Bloodseeker does some crazy shenanigans where he gets a bunch of damage, which could happen. You know, it's something hard to predict. It just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Well, the thing I'm curious of, I know people talk about this a lot where Enigma does need experience. Is there any chance they rotate the line and try to go for a kill bottom at some point to make this lane even better for EVOS, or do you just keep both of these heroes up here?
The problem with rotating the line is you still don't have much kill potential with Bloodseeker and Warlock. Like, I think this dual lane will actually do perfectly fine against a potential tri-lane. So the way they're laning right now is probably the best they can do. They can't really salvage the mid lane at all. It's just a complete, you know, lane counter matchup. You can't do anything there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, gold, get experience on these support heroes, and then you can actually play the game.
Well, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to go. You've really sold me that this draft is just miserable for EVOS, essentially. And I said this yesterday. I thought Keen was the better team than Execration. I was wrong about that. I don't think I'm wrong about Keen being a better team against EVOS. Although, I guess we'll see. It is at Bo3, and who knows how the series will go. Logic is in some serious trouble. He is doing some damage, but he's not going to try to attack the Clockwork instead. In fact, it is going to be the kill going the way of Keen Gaming. So that's first blood, just like that. And that wasn't even that hard. It was just cogs and a couple axes, and that was it.
Yeah, it's just so easy. And, you know, that one death means Clockwork's getting to his boots really quickly. And then the lane just gets even harder and harder. He's actually going to body block the pole camp. Like, Warlock de-warded the ward there with that sentry, but Clockwork, he just body blocks it every single time. So you can never pull this lane back on the side of EVOS.
And it's not like the other lanes are going well for EVOS. I mean, look at mid, dude. Look at the damage he's taken. I don't know if he's ferried out a salve already. He's going to have to ferry out another one if he did. Not only that, but look at his CS, 12-6. I know it's early still, and he can get back with Breathe Fire and a Soul Ring if he can get to that point, which I'm kind of worried about. But this, you know, this is pretty rough stuff, Brax. This is about where you would expect, I think, at this point in the game.
Yeah, and when you look at the support duos, who they can't exactly help. Logic actually.
Is he just dead?
A ton of damage.
Are they going to die this?
They're running them down.
They canceled the TP for the line, too. Good. Like, Whitemon stacked up, which was nice, but they still get the kill anyway because he auto-attacks and the Whirling Axe or Wild Axes come out, and that's just... Bloodseeker, who's usually pretty good in lane, is not good in this lane. My God.
Yeah, the really awkward thing is the Warlock duo. They first picked this Warlock hero to play like a sustain lane. Basically what this hero does is he prevents you from getting poked down and harassed, right? But this Clockwork Beast Smash lane kills you from full HP if you get caught out, basically.
Yeah.
And because of that, the Warlock is essentially useless in lane. So.
And it doesn't get better, right? Even with levels in Shadow Word, I think you still die in this lane as the Bloodseeker, correct?
You still die in this lane. And with a Warlock Lion support duo and an underlevel DK mid, you're not going to really be able to gank this Razor. Like, he has a full level advantage over the DK at the moment. And
this brings up a point I wanted to talk about. This leaves it all on Avil. I talked to Theban, I think, a long time ago. It was actually during TI4 when you guys were playing, and he said if you're relying on your Enigma to make these big plays with Black Hole, you've already lost the game, essentially. I don't know if you feel the same way, though.
No, I agree. In competitive, this hero is not picked for the Black Hole.
Exactly.
It's a bonus. You pick this hero for the immense lane pressure. People pick it even into Silencer, sometimes knowing that the Black Hole is not going to be able to be used because you can build around it. That's when you get your extremely tanky Enigmas, your pushing style Enigmas too.
Yeah.
The frontline Enigma.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried. I don't want to, you know, say the world is falling just yet. The Clockwork is dying somewhere. I missed it. So I ended up getting there at the end of it, but the line actually did rotate down there. But that was just the Clockwork getting caught out. I don't even think they're that really concerned about the Clockwork dying, not the worst thing. And this will give the Enigma solo experience top, but he is still going to have to deal with the Void and a Zeus. And remember, this is a Zeus support as well, which we didn't really talk about, but it's kind of intriguing given the circumstances.
Yeah, this hero does a ton of damage, and he can transition very well into the kind of like a carry role when he picks up like an Aghanim Scepter, for example, or even a Veil. Like, he doesn't really need a whole lot, just needs levels, then he can be impactful.
Yes, that's the big thing, experience.
I like it.
Will he get the? Do you think he'll get the tome for King Gaming, or do you just give it to a core or something?
You'll probably give it to Clockwork till he gets 6, and then you can start giving them to Zeus afterwards.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of crazy. Like, that's Clockwork's level 6 is almost way more important than the Zeus's level 6, and that's, you know, Zeus needs levels, but Clockwork Hookshot is just so powerful in terms of the power spike that you get.
He's the man that moves around the map to actually make things happen.
Avil getting run down. He did Soul Ring to drop the Midnight Pulse. I don't know if that was the best idea.
He's looking very dead.
He's looking really dead. It is level 1 Lightning Bolt, but a couple more auto attacks. They don't even need it. Arc Lightning just gets the kill. And this is what happens when you leave the Enigma here up alone. And it's a pretty disastrous laning phase now. Tugu's going to go ahead and TP mid as they're diving. Earthspike comes out, doesn't do anything, though. They still dive and get the kill with the Clockwork, and the Razor coming in with phase and Aquila already done. He has 37 CS. He is the top net worth by about 500 at this point in the game. They have a 4K lead, Brax. They have a 4K lead.
At 6 minutes.
That's
insane.
Are you kidding?
Oh my God. Is like... That's like 3 unlaneable lanes for the enemy, basically.
I mean, how do you just not lose this game? I don't... Like, you have to have... And it's that issue where you have to have that insane black hole, or maybe a sick Earth Spike or something, or a sick 5-man Golem with Fatal Mons, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, this Razor pick was so good because there was no way to get this DK back in the game. You know, Bloodseeker's having a rough game, Warlock's not going to have levels, Lion's roaming around trying to, you know, fix some of these lanes. Enigma, same thing, is kind of static in this top lane up here. Nobody can really assist, and Razor's level 7 to DK's 5. And it's not even 5.5 too. It's less than that. Whew, it's very rough.
It's brutal. You can use any type of word you want to describe it. they're just getting destroyed. That's all I can say. And it is not going to get easier. In fact, it is probably going to get much harder. The Beastmaster is going to have 6 soon. They can try to continue to gank this bottom lane on this Bloodseeker. He's going to be like almost a level and a half behind that of the Beastmaster at this point. Almost 2 levels behind, for that matter. He's going to have a medallion very soon for the Beastmaster as well. This Razor is huge. He's going to go phase Drum Aquila with BKB. As soon as he gets the BKB, there's really nothing they can do, Dan's Black Hole or Golem, to kill this guy. Maybe Rupture as well, but yeah, it's going to require some levels, and they're not anywhere near there. I mean, it's a level 5 DK to level 7 Razor. He static links him, takes 90 of his damage. I mean, I guess they don't have the best pushing other than the Beastmaster. That's kind of the good news, right? I think, Brax?
That is true. It's harder to snowball this lead, but the big thing they have is the lane pressure. Like, Beastmaster with Roar is a huge threat to anyone in front of him. Like, Clockwork's making a rotation down bottom. They can kill any hero like that. Faceless Void when he has 6. Enabling can die from pretty much full HP. And nobody can touch the Razor, so that's what they have going for them. It may not be, you know, like overwhelming push, but it is super, super strong lanes.
Yeah. I'm just worried about how this game is going to go once Keen do, in fact, hit 6. They get Chrono, they get Roar. They do have Roar already. They get Hookshot. They get all these spells. Things start getting out of control. They were setting up for a kill down bottom with the Clockwork, but he doesn't have 6. And they also, well, never mind. They're going to do it anyway. They do get off the Shadow Word. This is actually kind of a tough gank. Earthspike comes out. There's going to be the Blood Right as well. They're going to turn this around and maybe get the kill onto the Clockwork. The Axes will secure the kill onto the Warlock. So it's a 1-for-1, potentially, unless the Clockwork can somehow get out, but he can't. Thirst is quite the ability for diving heroes and finding kills. Now they're going to chase a V on the top lane. First hit bash coming in. They do get off the time dilation. The rotation comes in from the DK. They don't want to fight into this. He's level 6. Yuna's only level 4. He's going to get caught with the Midnight Pulse, and he'll get dropped down. So they find 2 kills across the map, and those are nice pickups, but they're just support. It's more, can they transition into anything with these kills?
The Hasted Razor rotation down bottom. They're doing a ton of damage to the tower there. Very, very nice. But, yeah, I mean, at least they didn't waste Chronosphere up top on the Faceless Void, right? He didn't even have it. He just got it now, actually. Yeah. So that threat is still going to be there, and Roar's going to be off cooldown in 40 seconds from now. And then you're just going to have to deal with that exact same thing again. Bloodseeker trying to get 6 in the jungle. Warlock living the rough life, just level 5.
Well, he's got more experience than I thought he would have at this point in the game, though, I would say.
Me too, actually. He'll have 6 with the Tome if he wants that, so it's not bad at all.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse, but it's still a 5k lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to compensate for the 5k lead at 9 minutes in the game.
I mean, they tried pushing with the Elder Dragon form in the top lane. I think they barely got a hit onto the tower. The Arc Lightning spam just cuts the wave down, and then they can't get into the tower range to actually do damage to it, so they're forced to back up and just farm their jungle instead. They don't really have any items being built at this point. They have a Shred's done for the DK finally. He'll have a Soul Ring. He actually didn't go for Soul Ring first, which also just makes your life harder in the mid lane. And you can see it, too, in the net worth. He's 2,500 to the Razor's 5k. The Razor is doubling him up, Rax. Completely.
Wowzers.
Life's rough, man. Well, they do get the kill onto the Zeus. They fingered him. I missed it, but nice pickup.
It was nice. They ganked him right as the bounty rune came out, but Zeus still got the bounty rune, so lots of gold going their way. 6k at 10 minutes. All right, so when you're in a situation like this, you don't have much to lose on the side of EVOS, right? If you can throw your bodies, get some kills, waste some of these cooldowns so you can actually get the ball rolling, like you can see them all converging up to the top lane to try to make something happen. Lions hugging the tree line, trying to catch out the Zeus. Nice and pale.
The Zeus is just tanking the game. He's died 3 times in a row. He is he's the martyr, I suppose, in this game.
Yep, he is indeed. He's tanking the ganks, but you know that 1 kill, it's a 400 gold swing. You know, about 15 more of those, and this game's even.
Maybe someday they'll get there. 15 more kills. All right, we'll keep track of the kills as they get them. And then, of course, if they lose kills of their own, then the trade goes back in favor of the other side. But Hookshot comes in mid lane. They've found Tuku. Axes fly out. Why not the tankiest hero to survive a Clockwork gank? But they do have the Rupture coming out as well as the Blood Right. And now they're going to lose the Clockwork potentially. He's healed up on the Bloodseeker. They get the Chronosphere onto the DK, but, I mean, look at his armor. He's so damn tanky. It's going to be tricky to find that kill. More so to just disengage, I think, was that Chronosphere, and maybe to secure the kill onto the Bloodseeker. So they get 2 more kills, but they do lose... they get 1 more kill. They lose 2 in the process, though.
Yeah. You know, in a game like this, Black Hole definitely matters, but there's so many different things he has to watch out for. Like, you can't ever really itemize for the Clockwork Hook. If Clockwork just has the angle on you, your hole's going to get canceled right away. Chronosphere, same thing. Roar, also very difficult to play around. So, I mean, you can see Enigma adapting. He's going for a 4-staff first to try to counterplay the Clockwork so they can play team fights a bit better.
Yeah.
He'll probably just end up going into tank items this game, something like Pipe Greaves or something like that. So it makes a lot of sense. It's a good way to adapt, but of course that means the hole's even more difficult to get off. But, you know, you may be behind a little bit, but you can't come back from ahead. You have to get really far behind so your enemy drops their guard, and then you snag some kills, and all of a sudden you're back in the game, just like that.
You know, you say it so right. Honestly, you can't come back when you're ahead, and that's the upside here for EVOS. It's not much of an upside, but it's something. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they'll find some more kills. Maybe they'll get a big black hole. They're gonna try to trade tier 2 for a tier 2, but that's probably not gonna happen. Actually, I don't know. They might just let this go for Keen. I don't know if they rotate up here to try to defend this. This is gonna fall pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they have such big tower push and control over the area. If you TP in to defend that tower when there's already a ward behind that tower, you're potentially throwing your lives away. You know, DK ult's been used. You can just drop that tower. You're taking one for yourself anyways.
Yeah.
And then you can fight and play the game afterwards. There's also no Chronosphere, which is why EVOS is making this move. So.
I mean, do they fight? Do they fight now though that the DK ultis? I know you want to push out top first probably, but do you try to find something with this Chronosphere when it's back up now?
You definitely want to position. You want to posture in a way that threatens the enemy to actually come out. And it's like you can play really aggressively with this Faceless Void on certain parts of the map because their lockdown's not the greatest. Like Lion has good lockdown, but for him to actually get in position to catch Faceless Void like that is really difficult.
Yeah.
Especially with the level of vision coming out from Keen Gaming. So,
being in the line, he looks to be dead. He actually takes so much damage. There's Battery Assault, and I think they threw the Wild Axes. Oh my god, he lived? Okay, he does get the kill onto the Clockwork. That's a really good trade. They're looking for a hole, I think, for reveal, but they have a ward that spots his movements. They want to jump in with the Chronosphere, and they're going to go for it. It hits onto one. He almost hit onto two, but the Chronosphere will be enough to kill this Enigma, almost certainly, and he is going to get dropped down. The Blood Right will get dropped on top. They will just move out of the way. They do not have their Zeus, but he did use the ulti, so he had some sort of impact in that engagement, and that pushes EVOS back. But that is Chrono down still. There is no Enigma now, at the very least.
Dude, Zeus is playing like the old school ancient apparition. You know, he's the support that just sits in the lane, starts farming. Doesn't care if he dies. His contribution is just the ult team fights.
You know, he should go Midas then, like the old AA. Oh, Clockwork.
He could get away with it this game. If
I actually wouldn't mind him going. I think it's fine because the game is you have control of the game anyway. I guess he could just pick up Ags though if they really want to try to fight really quickly.
No, I think the Midas is actually really good in a game like this. You're so far ahead. This is how you invest in Dota 2. You buy Midas.
Yep. You got to play the stocks here in Dota 2. Midas is the way to do that. He also is going Arcanes into straight Ags, which is, I guess, I don't know much about support Zeus, but as like a core Zeus, it's kind of unusual, right? You usually get Aether Lens or Ewel's or something along those lines before you get into the Aghanim's.
Yeah. Or like a Kaya or something. You get like 1 or 2 filler items before you typically build into the Aghanim's, but as support, I think it's fine. Honestly, the Nimbus has so much power and control in team fights.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong item, I would say. One of the best Ag upgrades by far, Dota 2 currently.
Oh yeah.
Essentially just gives you another unit to fight with. And they're going to try to find a kill onto this DK. He's going to get healed up. They have Clockwork hook shot at him. He's going to try to get his way out of the cogs. It's not going to happen. They also steal 91 damage if they want to keep going. They found the Warlock, but he's going to get forced away by a Veal. They'll probably take the tier 2 tower with this, so now you just, if you're EVOS, you split up and you try to farm top and bottom. If they do go for the push mid, it actually doesn't look like they're going to go for it. This is a siege wave, too. I'm surprised they didn't commit a little harder to this. I guess if you do get hold, then it's really bad, so maybe that's it.
The respawn timers are so short, and they don't have Chronosphere, Faceless Void showing in the bottom lane, too, so they know that they'll have a numbers advantage if they actually are able to take a fight mid. The, whatchamacallit? Oh, I was going to say Beastmaster at this stage of the game is so strong. Like, this hero is really good at controlling the map, and he has so much kill pressure and threat over the map. Like, look at this area from, do you see this?
Yeah,
My circle's really bad, but...
No, you're good, you're good.
they have so many sentries and observer wards just in this area. They have so much emphasis on just not giving the enemy any access points to their jungle at all. They're trying to sit there and contain them so they can farm like 70% of the map, while EVOS can pretty much only farm the incoming waves and just this top side lane.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing very well. And this is the exact kind of gameplay Beastmaster thrives on. And then eventually it's going to get to that point where, you know, he gets level 4 Call of the Wild, and you can just use that creep to tank Roshan.
Just control the map, essentially. Take objectives. Checklist Dota, I know it's whatever, but they found a logic Bloodseeker yet again. He is trying to build into a Midas. That's how you know the game is bad. When you're down 10k gold and you're looking for a recovery Midas. The only way he's going to get farm. They will roar the Warlock as well. He does have gold and can't get it off. The roar stun is too long to disable too much. And so that's 2 kills. EVOS, no buybacks. Obviously, they're not going to try to take this fight. So, yeah, this it's a pretty rough game when you see that Midas come out for the Bloodseeker. I guess he has the recipe, though, so it's not that bad. But still, it seems pretty rough.
He's close. But Midas definitely doesn't contribute to any sort of fights. Man, I'm glad I did not give my prediction before the game started, because I would have been very sad about now. I believed in the Enigma and Bloodseeker.
I'm sorry, Rex. I'm sorry that this happened to you.
That's why it's a best of 3. You know, this is the warm-up.
That's true. Man, they're really not warm if this is how their first game is going, though, to be fair.
Dude, it's the land jitters. You know,
they did fine in their first game yesterday. They almost won the first game. I guess, oh, it's Keen Gaming. Oh, no, what's going to happen?
It's a new day. You got to get warm again.
You're just trying to find excuses for them.
It's real cold over there in Thailand.
Ugh, God. I bet it's like 100 degrees there. Chronosphere comes out.
They're sweating.
Avil is almost just instantly killed. Yeah, that... Yeah, land jitters or not, they're getting absolutely dumpstered. That's all I'm going to say about this.
They are. They're getting tossed headfirst into the dumpster.
Yep, exactly. And that's almost a Zeus. He's like 1,000 gold away from having Zags at this point in the game, which is...
They're currently being like loaded into the dump truck, and there's just more trash like falling on top of them, and they can't get out.
They're starting to smell, becoming cramped in there. It's a real problem. Yeah.
They're getting buried alive in the garbage.
Oh man, you're not wrong. It's been a while since I've seen a game like this. You know, just one team completely outclasses the other.
It's just one of these games where, you know, Facehugger's nuking Whitemon for fun, like as he walks to a lane. Just there are no creeps near him. He's just throwing fire at him, and I mean, you look away for 2 minutes and there's like a 4,000 goal lead at 5 minutes. Like, it makes no sense at all.
You're just like, where did this come from? And then you look at the 3 lanes and you're like, oh, I see. Okay.
That's like you go to the bathroom and the game's just over.
Over, yeah.
You know?
Somebody was watching the draft and they looked away for half a second, maybe playing some other game or looking at something on Reddit, and then all of a sudden they come back. The game's over. Game's done. That's life, though, in Dota sometimes. That's just how it goes. But
the lanes just snowball so hard that you have to be able to lane properly. Like, when you pick this Warlock, your laning phase is pretty much set in stone. It's going to go this way no matter what.
Yeah.
Where you're extremely weak against these all-in kill lanes, and then when you pick a melee carry in the Bloodseeker to pair with the Warlock, that's when you run into issues, especially against heroes like Clockwork.
You know, I think this draft was okay until the Razor came out for Keen Gaming, and then this draft became really hard for them, I think, to work.
The Razor pick was extremely smart because they realized that there's no way they can actually help this Dragon Knight at all. And this guy is the hero that's going to set the pace for the game.
Blackwell misses, I think, first hookshot of the game. Every other hookshot has been very easy for him in terms of setting it up. The Void will just... Oh, excuse me, the Beastmaster jumps in. Lion is... He's the martyr on the other side. He continues to have a miserable existence in this game, unfortunately for him. And I think now they'll finally push mid. They have another siege wave, or maybe not. I'm not sure if they will actually commit to this.
Rupture up top on Zeus.
TP. Alphys? Hey, got him. That TP took a little while, too. They're going to come up from behind, though. Clockwork still doesn't have hookshot, though. Avil's just going to TP out. Battery Assault is going to be close. Good blocks, though, from the Eidolons. Nice play. Now can they get out of logic is the question. He has TP up in 18. I think he's fine. They're going to fight mid in the meantime, though. They have chronoed up. They're going to find 2. Facehugger, his damage is being stolen. He's linked up and double killed down. Unstoppable spree for the Razor as they continue to push this tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Lion will throw out a casual Earth Spike. They still do have Black Hole, but without the DK, I don't think they'll have any damage if they did get it off anyway. So they'll lose this fight pretty handedly. Yes, they got the Zeus top lane, but they're going to lose the tier 2 and a lot more in that mid lane engagement.
God, this is just a game where you might not see a successful black hole, like a fully channeled black hole go off.
I don't think he's even going to get one off this game. I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to cast the ability.
Every hero in this game can cancel hold. And 2 of those, actually 3 of these go through BKB, and 2 of those you can't itemize for at all in the Chronosphere and the hook shot. Like, it is not easy to cast hold.
I mean, the one way you lose a fight for Keen Gaming is if you're like 5 people in the Roche pit and they have like a blink or a forced black hole that you're not expecting, which should never happen.
Yeah.
I don't think there will ever be a situation where all 5 of them are in the Roche pit. And if that does happen, they deserve to lose the fight, honestly.
They're so scared to leave their side of the map because they know they can't fight. Like, look at this. Lion just dies instantly, you know? And this is while the rest of Keen Gaming are doing Roche. Like, when you look at these lineups and you see Bloodseeker, Warlock, and Enigma, you think there's no way we want to take a fight in the Roche pit, but they just have so much control over the map. Nobody from EVOS can actually leave their side of the map. So yeah, they managed to just sneak that one out.
There's never a situation, I think, in this game for Keen where they are scared at this point. I know, like, it's dangerous to fight into those types of abilities, but when you're this far ahead, I don't think you really give a shit about anything, to be honest.
Wellmont, Bloodseeker's been investing in that Hand of Midas. Stocks are going crazy at the moment. He almost has a relic.
He almost has a relic into double BKB, so... I mean,
well,
he'll kill the supports, I guess, which is nice. And he'll just get roared and die, I'm pretty sure.
I think he can't even walk into a fight at all. He's still just going to get roared and die.
I mean, if this game somehow drags for another 10 minutes, if he buys a BKB in like another 10 minutes and he somehow gets to that point of this game, if they don't finish it for whatever reason, then he can actually walk in and fights. Maybe he can't even, because he still gets roared anyways. So, I don't know. I have no idea what you do in this game, actually.
It's hard. It's one of the situations where you're just so far behind that next item doesn't feel like it's going to be that impactful. He needs like BKB and Lincolns, but then you're still playing into Chronosphere and Clockwork, so do you actually want to go for the Lincolns against Beastmaster? Probably not.
Yeah. It's a tough situation. There's really no right answer for a logic. And the Clockwork almost found him too. That would have been hype.
Yep. Clockwork can actually solo kill him.
Yep.
Like, that's unreal.
I'm surprised the Lion is able to get... I know it's like 23 minutes, and it's not like that early or anything, but considering how this game is gone, the Lion getting a Blink Dagger is pretty nice. Oh, there's the roar.
For sure.
Hey, look at it. It's the roar we were talking about. They chrono up. They drop the Nimbus. This is a dead DK and Bloodseeker. Jesus.
Well, that's that.
I don't know what else we could talk about, Brax, to be honest. I mean...
It's just, they're just trying to scrap together any kind of farm they can get. I guess Lion with the Blink, you know, he did manage to farm a Blink in this game somehow, right? When everyone on this team is just trying to pick through the scraps to get any sort of farm. So they actually have some reliable way to start a team fight, right? That's not bad.
It's something.
It is.
Avil is dead, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's super dead.
He's very dead. Through the Nimbus, you just can't TP.
He tried. He did try. He was out of the Nimbus, but then he got battery assaulted and died. I mean, at least they're pulling them away from the base while they're doing this. Like, he's not dying at his high ground, at least, which is something. I'm looking for anything, Brett. I'm literally looking for anything to say, well, this happened, you know. They could still be... It's just...
There's not much.
Exactly.
It's grim. The strongest point in EVOS' lineup is when they're holding high ground. When there's a Midnight Pulse dropped on the ramp, a Blood Rite dropped on the ramp, and you're sitting there with your Warlock waiting to ult when King Gaming walk up. But, you know, these guys aren't going to take that chance. They're going to sit here and build up the gold lead forever to the point where they can sit there and tank all their spells. Like, this is the first Aegis. Traditionally on the first Aegis, this is when you get your large advantage, but you can't actually end the game on this Aegis. Like, usually it's taken so early in the game that the timings just don't align with you being able to push high ground, especially now that buybacks are so prevalent. So yeah, you know, it's the waiting for second Roshan game.
I mean, this is one of those rare instances where they might have been able to finish the game if they decided to push, but yeah, just because it's the first Aegis, it's a little bit dangerous. There's no reason for them to try to finish this game off now, other than the fact that they just want to finish the game and just be done with it. But they'll probably wait till next Roche. So we have, I don't know, a good 6 minutes of just sitting around while we watch both teams. Well, one team farm and the other team sit inside their base and just do nothing, essentially, or occasionally go out, push one lane, and then die. So that'll be the next 6 to 8 minutes of this game, I would say, Brad.
Well, that's right. Let's go to a break, Mont.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a few minutes, everybody. We'll throw up the clean feed, and you guys can enjoy just a non-casted game. In all seriousness, though, we're getting some more items, and like I do want to talk about items that are interesting to me, which is the Aghanim Scepter for the Beastmaster, which you rarely see anymore now.
Yeah, it gives you that extra cast range and cooldown reduction on the ultimate. It's nice for finding these heroes in the back lines, like the Enigma and the Warlock, for example. But it's definitely not common. You don't see this very often. Usually with this kind of league, you'd see like a Necro 3, and then you would just prepare for like a push to end the game.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking if he had a Necro 3 at this point in the game, of course he would have it. The game would just be over whenever they decided to push with it. I feel like even without Aegis, I'm pretty sure. But...
Yep. The nice part about the Necro 3 is it would give you solo kill potential on any hero, especially with the Zeus Ulted Nimbus.
Yeah.
Like it provides you that extra damage to kill. You know, Bloodseeker split pushing somewhere, or even probably even the DK, honestly.
Yeah.
With the Zeus abilities backing you up.
Yeah.
Like Nimbus can probably hit 3 times in a roar. Yeah, 4-second stun.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I feel like I've seen this movie before. He's not dead though. Good news for him. All right, he's dead. And he's dead. Chrono onto the DK. I feel like I've seen this before as well. Avil walks into the Nimbus. They drop the Golem, does nothing. They've killed the DK and the Enigma. DK has no ultimate. They did bring down the Void, actually. The Bloodseeker did it with the Rupture. Can they chase? They finger up the Razor too. He will be speedy enough to get away even with this Bloodseeker chasing after him, but he's going to get out of dodge. So they did take down the Void. I mean, that was pretty bad for EVOS, but they didn't lose a tier 3, and they really didn't even take damage on the tier 3 tower as well.
Yeah, they hold at the cost of a Lion buyback, and they kill Faceless Void. That's pretty good for EVOS. We saw Bloodseeker running at, you know, a zillion move speeds. He has his Radiance. Actually, he doesn't have his Radiance. He needs to buy the Relic from the side shop, and there's an Observer Ward on the way there, so there's a good chance that this courier might die.
Yeah, if they can get it up, it's, yep, they'll see this.
Tuku's making the space, though, so they're good.
I think the Razor saw it. He's coming back to the secret shop. He's not going to get there in time, though. Good news for the Bloodseeker. He finally has Radiance. Good news, he's only, like, 2 items behind now. That of, like, the Razor and the Void, so...
It's all about progress, Block.
Yeah. All right, well... Your Radiance is not going to help you that much if you die, so... He has no buyback. That was the most depressing Radiance I've ever seen, in all honesty. Guys, I got my Radiance finally. Oh, I don't have buyback. Oh. Rip.
Yep. Oh, we'll see the Roshan respawn in about 50 seconds, and that should be the next... I don't know what you want to call it. The next thing on the checklist?
Yes. Absolutely. That's exactly what I would say. Honestly, I'm surprised the Razor isn't just going like Art, and then you just run high ground and sit behind the Razor or something. I mean, he's definitely itemizing correctly, but with how far ahead they are, he could have just gotten to Heart, and he would have been fine one way or the other, I think.
I like that he's going for the Aghanim Scepter now. Like, that is the true game ender.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that item. The Lincoln Sphere, I like the Halberd he picked up earlier in the game when it was a little bit closer, although not really. The Lincoln Sphere is nice to have against, like, Rupture and Dragon Tail and all the Lion's abilities, but I don't know if it's 100% needed with the BKB that you have now. But... I don't know. I guess you're just covering all your bases, right, for Keen at this point?
Exactly. Safety first. You got to look both ways before you cross the street.
Yeah.
It's really dangerous if you don't.
EVOS have not looked both ways in this game. I don't think they ever had a chance to look both. It's like the car came onto the sidewalk and just ran them over, honestly.
Oh, no.
I'm not even like that. It seems pretty accurate. Dooku's dead again. Shocker. They're going to have to look and see what they need to do for Game 2 because this is a 30k gold lead.
Yep. And it's an extremely fast Roshan respawn, this Evolution Rune. Yep, sees Rosh. It's go time, guys.
This is a 0.0001% chance of winning this game for EVOS at this point.
Is that according to Dota Plus?
No, that's according to me.
All right.
I think that's
fair. What are your qualifications?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't have the best qualifications to call that out. All right, I'll ask you then. You have the qualifications to say percentage chance.
It's whatever you said. It was very accurate.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I got a second opinion. All right, well, Bloodseeker's dead again. This time he does have buyback, which is good news. Avil is close by. Bloodseeker will buy back as they're pushing in the mid lane. No Ags yet for the Razor. They could back to Roche if they wanted to, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. There's 16 seconds with no Warlock, so they kind of want to abuse that timing, I think. But, again, there is really good high ground spam from EVOS, so, yeah, they're just going to back up and play it safe. It will indeed look both ways.
Yep. It's looking like Roshan time, and it's so hard to, even though you have really good heroes at taking a Roshan fight, like there's going to be a Hawk, there's an Observer Ward that's going to scout your movement out. As long as somebody breaks the smoke, like the Zeus, for example, or there's a Zeus ult, so he sees all of them just sitting inside the base. Everything's good. You know, there's no surprises here. They're just going to take this, stroll on into the base. Razor's 1,000 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter if they want to wait for that.
Yeah, they're going to get their next set of big items almost certainly. Then they have Chrono up every 60 seconds now because of the Aghanim Scepter, so they just fight around that whenever it's up, and which, of course, it is now. And, yeah, checklist Dota. I mean, that's pretty much it at this point. They have a 32k lead, which is 1k per minute, which they kind of had earlier. They've gotten back to that point. Hookshot will come. They found the Lion again. Dooku is going to get forced. He might actually survive this time, although they Chrono up onto the Illogic Bloodseeker. Good hole, though. Stops it from happening. Illogic still dies. They roar. Oh, my God. That was the one black hole we're going to see this game, Brax, and it got canceled immediately due to roar. Although they are kind of
massacre.
They're doing okay. They're kind of doing some damage to the Clockwork, but he's able to speed on out of there. He's going to get Spirit Vessel by himself. They'll take the tier 3 tower. Bloodseeker does not have a buyback. The Enigma did, but what can he do without his black hole? I mean, he could drop Midnight Pulse and all that stuff, but it's not really going to matter. Elder Dragon form is back up in 6 seconds. We're about to see one more fight, and then the game almost certainly called. And GG coming out here the next few moments. Not yet, but it will happen soon. Roar comes in onto Facehugger. They will have Chrono back up in 18 seconds. They won't need it to kill Facehugger. It looks like he's not tanky enough. They do finger down the Clockwork, which is nice. Facehugger does have a buyback. He is, and when he does buyback, he will have his Elder Dragon form available, but they still don't have the Bloodseeker for 20 seconds, so there it is. Enigma will buy a Blink Dagger, but with no black hole, there's not really much for him to use it with at this point of the game. It is a 38k lead now. The Breathe Fire coming in. Facehugger finally pops the Elder Dragon form. They'll continue to push anyway. They have the Ags. They have the Razor Aegis, so they're not really concerned. He does pop the Eye of the Storm. He's doing a lot of damage. They jump back in. Roar. Chronosphere onto 2. Facehugger. That will be a dieback. The game almost certainly about to end, Brax.
Yep, Keen game and looking real good. Very disciplined. They won the lanes. They extended the lead. They built items that helped them keep the pace of the game up, like Void went for Aghanims. So he always has Chrono up. Beastmaster went Aghanims. So he always has Roar up. It's a very interesting adaptation because these probably aren't the most common items. Void Ags is a bit more common. Beastmaster Ags not so common.
Yeah.
It was good.
I like it because when they're pushing like this and they're taking fights, they don't have to wait long for their abilities to be back up and to dive the base, to dive the tier 4s, so it makes sense.
Beastmaster just casted Roar 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
He had an Arcane Rune too, so pretty crazy.
I mean, that's not surprising at this point. They're going to get Megas. They will have the DK back in 12. Aegis is gone. Hookshot coming in, though. They found Deville again. He does have his 4 step. It's actually on cooldown. They already used it. They're going to lose a Logic. They're going to lose the Enigma. That's GG right there. Boom.
Alrighty. I don't know what you call that kind of game, Mont. Besides an ass whooping.
Yeah, it was an ass whooping. Dumpster, whatever you want to call it. Man, they look
experience for EVOS. Yes, Keen Gaming looks super way different from the Keen Gaming of yesterday. Maybe they're over the land jitters. Maybe they're all warmed up.
Maybe. I would say so, based on that performance coming out. I don't know, boys. What did you think of that game?
30-10. Where I come from, Brax, we call that a slaughter.
Slaughter.
Shellacking, I believe.
Shellacking, another good term.
It's also a shellacking. Due to the hardwood floor, favorite casters